All right, let's talk about something that I think everyone can relate to. The absolute pain of making a presentation. You've spent hours, maybe days, wrestling with PowerPoint or Google Slides, just trying to make your brilliant idea look, well, not terrible. Today, we're diving into a tool that might just make all that frustration a thing of the past.
No, seriously. Just take a second and imagine that. What if you could totally skip all the boring stuff, the aligning, the font choices, resizing text boxes, and just think? Just focus on the ideas themselves. That's the dream, right? And it's the promise of the AI tool we're looking at today.
So first, let's just get real about what we're calling the presentation problem. I guarantee you've lived this.
You know the drill. You've got the research, your notes are all over a Google Doc, or maybe you've got this massive 50-page report. The actual ideas, they're solid. But now you have to turn that beautiful chaos into a clean, professional slide deck. It just kills your momentum. It's a total creative bottleneck. And honestly, it's just draining.
But what if there was a completely different way to go about it? See, Google has been working on this tool called NotebookLM, and its whole approach is fundamentally different from a lot of the other AIs out there.
And this right here, this is the secret sauce. It's called source grounding. So instead of just pulling information from the entire vast, messy internet, which, can lead to some weird mistakes or hallucinations, this AI is locked down to only your documents. You upload your research, your notes, your data, and it becomes a private expert just on that material.
This quote from Robin Leung just nails it. It's not about getting generic answers from the web. It's about getting an intelligent summary and creation based on information you already provided, stuff you already trust. And that foundation of trust, that's what makes this so incredibly powerful.
And get this, the process is ridiculously simple. You just upload your stuff, and it can handle all kinds of formats. Then you just ask it for what you want. Something like, hey, create a presentation from these notes. And bam, in seconds, you have a fully designed deck.
Okay, so now for the really cool part. What can this thing actually make? Because this is where it goes from being just a neat trick to a potential game changer.
We're not just talking about bullet points on a plain white background. Because it's powered by some of Google's really advanced image models, it can create some seriously complex stuff. We're talking visual presentations, detailed infographics, storyboards for a film project. You can even upload your company's style guide and get a deck that matches your branding. It's basically a visual storytelling engine.
I mean, just look at the range here. You can feed it a chaotic document and get a perfectly structured presentation. Or take a super dense academic paper and get back a visual summary that people can actually understand. My favorite might be taking a folder of holiday baking photos and turning them into a professional-looking recipe book. The versatility is just kind of stunning.
And this is where it gets a little wild. It's not just for summarizing. Google actually shared this example where they fed it Jane Austen's novels and asked it to brainstorm a pitch deck for holiday-themed sequels. The AI came up with plot ideas and even designed fake book covers. That shows you it's not just a tool, it's more like a creative partner.
Okay, so it all sounds amazing, right? Almost too good to be true. And well, here's the reality check. There is one big, super frustrating catch that users found almost right away, and we definitely need to talk about it.
So here's the deal. On one hand, you get these beautiful data-driven slides in an instant. The AI does all the design work for you. But, and it's a big but, you can only export them as a static PDF or a PNG image. You can't just click and edit the text. You can't swap out an image you don't like. And for a lot of people, that's a total deal breaker.
Yeah, this blew up in the user communities online. People were like, wait, this is all Google stuff. Why on earth can't I just export it to Google Slides? I mean, if you have to manually rebuild the whole deck just to fix a tiny typo, it kind of defeats the entire purpose of using a super fast AI tool in the first place.
But of course, clever users on the internet always find a way, right? So here are the two best workarounds people are using. First, you can download that PDF, use a free online converter to turn it into a PowerPoint file, and then you can open it up and edit it. The second way, which might even be easier, is to just drag the PDF right into Canva. Canva has this amazing grab text feature that makes the whole slide editable. They're not perfect solutions, but hey, they work.
So let's zoom out for a second. Because if you look past the features and the little frustrations, you start to see something much bigger happening here. This isn't just a slide generator. It's a new way to work with your own ideas.
I absolutely love this quote. A cognitive mirror. Think about that. The idea is that when you ask the AI to visualize your notes, you're not just making a product. You're literally holding up a mirror to your own thought process. When the AI lays out your argument in a visual story, it can immediately show you where your logic is breaking down. Maybe it creates a slide that just feels off, and suddenly you realize, oh, I totally missed a step in my argument, or I don't have enough evidence for that claim. It becomes this amazing diagnostic tool for your own thinking. It helps you actually see the story you're trying to tell.
And that brings us to the biggest takeaway. We usually think of AI as a tool to do things for us, to execute on our ideas. But maybe its real power, its true future, lies in helping us understand and refine our ideas in the first place. By giving us a new way to see our own knowledge, it stops being just a creator and starts being a collaborator in the messy, wonderful process of thinking itself. And that is a really fascinating thought to leave you with.